Transgender women are women, and I'll leave it at that.
What's that? Is that your balls? Your cojones? If you want them back, then stop lying. The famous female author J.K. Rowling has been wrongfully labeled as transphobic for years now for stating that biological sex is real. Only women menstruate. It's very easy nowadays to be labeled as a transphobe by losers on the internet trying to control your speech. Sometimes it's people who you know, who you've worked with, who you've been friends with, who will stab you in the back and call you a transphobe. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Both Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe have been very busy condemning J.K. Rowling's statements about trans people.
Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling says she won't, quote, forgive live-action stars Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson for questioning her views on transgender people. Rowling, who has frequently argued online that trans women are not actual women, was being investigated by police for misgendering trans people under Scotland's new hate crime law. She would rather go to jail than refer to a trans person by their preferred pronoun. After an X user tweeted, "Just waiting for Dan and Emma to give you a very public apology, safe in the knowledge that you will forgive them." Rowling responded, "Not safe, I'm afraid." Celebs who cozied up to a movement intent on eroding women's hard-won rights and who use their platforms to cheer on the transitioning of minors can save their apologies for traumatized detransitioners and vulnerable women reliant on single-sex spaces.
The new law in Scotland is absolutely terrifying, and it's absolutely disgusting to make it illegal to misgender someone. Misgendering is an ideological term. It's not even real. Should it be illegal to call me she, even though I'm a biological female? But is it misgendering to call me he when I look and sound like this? And strangers don't know I'm a female. Actual trans people, you know, the individuals with gender dysphoria, who don't think that getting a septum piercing is a part of the transition, don't use the term misgendering because it's stupid. It's absolutely insane to limit free speech due to a very small minority, due to few activists who are crazy, who are against freedom of speech, children and women's rights, the entire Western culture. I know it's a little late, but I have now decided that I love J.K. Rowling. This response on X is beautiful. That these stupid celebrities should save their apologies for detransitioners and vulnerable women. J.K. Rowling's not a transphobe. I'm pretty sure she has trans friends, which is not a common thing to have because remember, transsexuals, very small minority of all people. She once sent flowers to the amazing anti-woke trans YouTuber Rose of Dawn. J.K. Rowling also retweeted another anti-woke trans YouTuber, Sarah Higdon, saying, "I do wish people would realize this idea that saying trans women are women not only erases what it means to be a woman and their unique experiences being female, while at the same time erase the unique experiences and struggles of living with gender dysphoria. We are different and that's okay." Period. The fact that J.K. Rowling retweeted this says it all. J.K. Rowling is based, and she knows that there's a difference between a transsexual person, an individual with gender dysphoria just trying to live a normal life as the opposite sex, and a trans activist who want to change society and want to harm women and children with insane anti-freedom woke laws.
Radcliffe told The Atlantic he hasn't spoken with the renowned author for years due to their strained relationship. Radcliffe said, "It makes me really sad ultimately because I do look at the person that I met, the times that we met, and the books that she wrote and the world that she created, and all of that to me is so deeply empathetic."
It makes you, a man, sad that a woman talks about the importance of maintaining women's spaces. Yahram, the only sad thing here is you.
Obviously, Harry Potter would not have happened without her, so nothing in my life would have probably happened the way it is without that person, but that doesn't mean that you owe the things you truly believe to someone else for your entire life.
That person. Speaking of misgendering, did you mean the queen instead of that person? I do agree with his last statement. Daniel is not responsible for what J.K. Rowling says. Daniel is only responsible for what he says. He has spent so much time condemning J.K. Rowling when he didn't need to. Just because he worked with her once, 100 years ago, doesn't mean that he has to go out and say anything about her and about what she's doing today. Daniel is like, I'm not associated with her, but let me condemn what she's saying because I'm associated with her.
I find it very strange that this woman spent years crafting this really rich story about a child who felt like they didn't belong. And so they discover a world where they do belong and they're embraced by that world. And their parents hate them because they are different than them. I can definitely see how a trans person might relate to Harry's struggle and become attached to the story and love the stories.
What are you saying? that trans people can relate to a fictional story, believe in magic, believing in things that don't exist. Ouch! Are you saying when trans people transition, they become a part of this new world that has nothing to do with reality, the real world? The only way trans people can feel better is to lie about what's real and what's not. Even though your analogy is wrong, you are describing the trans cult, the trans community, same thing. Being embraced for who you are. Members of the trans community, the trans cult, trans activists in general, do live in Delululand, where everyone gets embraced for who they are, which is totally made up. What they claim to be, at least, is totally made up. Trans activists act like they don't know that what they claim to be, not real, not a thing. Or it's something they're not. But real transsexuals live in reality, prior to their transition, but also after. It's kind of the point of transitioning, to be a part of the real world.
And it must suck being a trans person that loves Harry Potter and to learn how J.K. Rowling feels about trans people.
It only sucks if you're mentally unstable and you can't handle that other people disagree with your opinions. If you're a misogynist, you might have a problem with J.K. Rowling and her statements. Being against the biological fact that females are women and women are females is kind of misogynistic.
I think Daniel Radcliffe said it best. If you found anything in these stories that resonated with you and helped you at any time in your life, then that is between you and the book that you read, and it is sacred. So yeah, transgender women are women, and I'll leave it at that.
What's that? Is that your balls? Your cojones? If you want them back, be a man. Stop lying to people just because they might get offended. That's pathetic. You are pathetic. And I'm not only talking about this TikToker, I'm also talking about the actor, Daniel Radcliffe. I can't think of anything more pathetic than being a modern male feminist. I think my biggest pet peeve is people lying. Not just lying to me, but also to other people. Especially lying to people just out of pity, because you pity the other person or group of people. Look, if actual trans people can handle, are strong enough to go through a medical transition, changing their entire lives just to fix their mental health, I'm pretty sure they can handle the truth as well. Like basic facts about reality, that a man is a man, a woman is a woman. Stop coddling trans people, no matter if they're faking it or not, if they're actually gender dysphoric or not. Stop coddling trans activists. They don't care about you. They don't care about your intentions, how nice you are. All they want is to see you obeying them. Today, trans activists want you to scream, trans women are women, but trust me, tomorrow, you'll have to say a total different thing. Just like real narcissists, they don't care about the topic. Trans activists don't care about trans. They don't care about trans men, trans women, trans kids. They only care about themselves. As long as they can control others, lie about obvious facts and change society, the topic, the fight itself, will always be replaceable. We're living in weird times, y'all. Apparently, believing in basic biology makes you hateful. Apparently, it's problematic to believe in the importance of female-only spaces. We live in a time where we have to feel sorry for men who self-ID as women who don't get access to women in vulnerable situations, believing those men are more oppressed than women. You can't be a true tolerant person if you're extremely dishonest. How can you actually be a good and tolerant person if you lie? Trans women are women? No, that's a lie. J.K. Rowling is transphobic? No, that's a lie. In order to be a true, tolerant, good human being, you have to be honest. You have to speak the truth. Lying to trans people just so you don't hurt their feelings? Not tolerant. And it's fucking stupid. Thank you all for watching this video. I really hope you liked it. Remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. I love you and I hope to see you in my next video. Peace out.